in Madrid at our 2017 International Film Festival. I'm joined by Amena Moghadam. There you go. With her film Farewell My Bird. Congratulations on your nominations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining us.
You.
So, for those that aren't aware, tell us the story of your film.
Yeah, the story is between, that's the love triangle, sort of love triangle between the old man, which shows the old generation, and 9 years old, and the bird. That means two different generations fell in love with the bird. Yeah. And this is the line of the story, actually.
Yeah.
But what happened and what's going on in this story, it's better you watch the movie.
Yeah, of course, that's the thing. Obviously, it's all about, I've seen the film, and it's about people wanting to see the film. It's a simple story.
Yeah, that's simple story.
And I understand, obviously, I just wanted you to talk about it more. This was a thesis study for you, and then you took quite a number of years, I believe, to then turn it into a film. So tell us about that process.
Yeah. And that idea that was in my mind before university, actually. And then one of my professors heard this story and say, I think it's the best for your thesis. You can work on it. It's so beautiful, it's so simple, it's not complicated. Yeah. But this is the story, that's a simple story which can take audience with itself
on a little journey. Yeah,
exactly. And then, but we add some other stuff on it to the story. And for example, in my story, he was not the photographer.
Right.
He was not the old man who moved from the another country to the another country.
Right.
But I add all of them those
just
things.
To add a bit of depth
exactly.
to the character. Yeah.
Yeah, I developed this story by adding some things, and then in the end of it, I taught my professor in university the American culture and Iranian culture both understand this story and contact.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and even obviously
and then
for us it
any
works.
other culture, I thought.
If you try and complicate the story, obviously a lot of Hollywood films are all complicated, and you watch it and you're scratching your head and you don't understand it, but you've created a short film which, as you say, works for the old generation, the young generation, the Western community, and obviously just for everyone to see.
But something else is I like to talk about it. That's the short story, short film is, I believe, is harder than the long.
Because you've got to develop characters and give a quick narrative arc as opposed to
exactly.
over 90 minutes. Yeah.
That's why I chose simple story, or with some actually attractive story also, of course. I can make it in short much better than in feature movie. That's why I thought this story is very good for the short film.
No work. So how did you get into filmmaking yourself? Obviously from university, and I'm assuming you've had lots of other ideas in your head, but this was the one which, from all those ideas, stood there until you were ready to make a film.
Actually, in university, I had two other movies too. I made those movies too, which I loved my second movies very much, actually. But unfortunately, I did not send to any festival. But probably I was wrong. But anyway, when we choose this story for thesis and work on it, and my university actually support, but is not the producer. They told me, you have to be the producer of your movie, but we're going to help you about the camera or light or whatever.
Oh, okay, so they can give you the equipment,
but not all of them.
Not all of it,
because
so you have to
because
find
that depends on my shot list. I need some things, I don't know, university can have it or not, but it happened too, because I had to rent some of my stuff from the Hollywood stores. But during the production, I thought, okay, I cannot just work with anybody. I like to work with amateur people, but I thought, okay, for this old man in this movie, I love to work with two legend people. And for first choice, that was Behruz Vousoughi. But I was a little scary because I didn't know he accepted or not, because he have never worked in short movie.
Oh, really? So this was his first short film?
First short, I think, and the last
and it's
short.
like first and only. Well, aren't you lucky?
Yeah, but then he read the script and he loved that. And he told me, where have you been so far?
Oh, really? Oh, that's a nice one.
And why you don't go for feature movie? And say, okay, I promise this is... I cannot promise actually, but I say, okay, I promise after this film, I go for feature movie.
Well, that's one of my questions, obviously, which we will potentially get onto, because I understand a feature film. Okay, we'll go for it now. A feature film is lined up, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm writing with one of my friend.
Right.
He's in Iran.
Can you tell us more about the story, or?
That's the story is for the current problem in the world. That's something about the ISIS and Kurdish people.
Wow.
And actually, that's the triangle too between ISIS, USA, and Kurdish in Iran.
So there's not an old man, a boy, and a bird. It's something a
but
little bit bigger now.
It's a little complicated.
Yeah.
Is love story, but the war is underneath, but that's love story.
So
but in the background of the story, you see the war or everything. But my goal is more love story in the war, something like this. It's complicated, and then. But of course, I love work with these same people.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's a case of you'd looked at. So, how was Milad to work with? How was his role cast, and how did you find him to bring into the film?
Okay, when he liked the story, and I say, okay, see, this movie is very low budget, and honestly, he actually, I pay as a gift, but. If I want to be honest with that, he worked with me free.
Really?
Because he say, you know what, I love this story, and when I sleep, I think about it, and sort of he's in my head and my heart.
Head and my heart, so I want to do it no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was my, I think, best point in this story when he accepted to work.
Because I guess then when you're not getting paid for it and wanting to do it, he's bringing a bit more. He's inquisitive, isn't he? And he's looking and he's whistling, and all of a sudden he's enjoying the role. And for him, he cares about the script, he cares about the story, he cares about how the film looks. So yeah, that's maybe had you paid him for that role and he just seen it as a job, he may not have delivered the role and character that you'd wanted. Do you think that's fair to say?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't obviously question his talents, but there still may have been an aspect which would change.
Yeah. You know what? So many people asking me about that was hard working with the legend actor or something like that. That was not hard for me.
No?
Not really. Because I thought, I don't know why, I wasn't worried a lot. I was not.
No.
Because I thought, okay, if I can make this, if I can work with this person, if I can make from this person the another person the other people cannot believe it, because you know that because so I can say it this way, when the people see this actor, they remember so many other films.
Other roles that they've carried, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
say, okay, if I can make this movie with this person, the people who do not remember the other movies, I'm successful.
Yeah.
And I think I made it.
It's like, obviously, it's if someone was to watch a Bruce Willis film, for example, they only would ever still see him as John McClane from Die Hard, because that's the action guy that he is and created. So you've now created a character, and now it's a standalone film and a standalone role, not a case of watching and going, well, that's Beirut from that.
Exactly.
Perfect. That makes total sense.
Exactly.
Tell me more about the decision with the music and the sound, and obviously his character is has a hearing aid in the film, and it's done really well where the music is, the sound levels go up and down from the bird tweeting to a bit of traffic and everything.
Yes.
Tell me about the music process.
Honestly, if I want to make this movie right now, I'm not going to use some music in some part of the movie.
Right, okay.
But in that time, I work with Shaheen Yusuf Zamani. He is one of the very good composer, musician actually. And we talk about it, and I said, I want one Iranian instrument, the Persian, because the culture is Iranian culture. Those people are Iranian who live in USA. And then he say, okay, I know. When I explained for him what I want, and he just had some sample for me. He showed it to me, and some of them I was there when he recorded. I was there, and then I like his choices.
You liked what it done, and obviously worked with it.
Yeah, but right now I wish I have never used the music. Just ambience was enough.
I think, out of obviously my colleague Steve and then myself conduct interviews, I often ask people the question, would you make any changes with your film? And 99% say, no, I'm happy where it is. So it's great to hear that you've said, if I could make a change, that's what I'd do. It's being self-critical, isn't it? So that's great to hear. How close to your original script then has it? Obviously you changed from, he was never a photographer, but how many changes were made from your original idea?
How much changes you mean from the original to
how it is now? Obviously, yeah. Has it?
Just I added something.
Just little
not.
You never took anything away. You just added to it.
I added to it, and yeah, I don't remember I take out something from the original one.
Nothing taken away from it.
No. I just added more background or the character background.
Which is needed in a short film anyway.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm right in saying that you want your films to influence people and inspire them in some way. And unless you create character development, people are just going to watch it, and whether it's 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes long, they're just going to be watching and have no emotion towards the characters. Is that important for you to always want to influence people?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to look to do?
Yeah, of course.
And is it about the big matters in life, obviously about the generation and respecting people and love as well? Obviously we're talking about your feature film.
In this movie?
And altogether, what stories do you want to tell, like, to inspire people?
In
anything, yeah.
I believe when they ask me, okay, what kind of movie you want to make? I say, movies like body. Okay? I cannot say I want to make of course, we have different generation, of course, or genre, I'm sorry. But I believe in one movie should have the comic part, the hard part, love part, all of those things, because that's life.
Yeah.
But my main goal is making drama film which is the highlight is drama,
Yeah.
but has everything
Just
beside
has still a
of it.
bit of cheekiness and a bit of
Sense of humor inside
sense
of
of
it. All
humour.
of them, yeah. But yeah, I love that kind of film. The people when go home at least think about it.
And that's what happened with Milad when he saw the script. He went home and thought about it. So then, you know, you've done a good job when
Milad for the younger boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that thing, he went home and thought about, and that's why he wanted to be involved in the film, because the script he liked and the story he liked. And sometimes you can leave a cinema or turn a film off and just go, oh, that's that. It's great when a film has a lasting impact on you. And that's obviously what you've said.
I don't know if I understood your question about Milad. Your question about Milad was how I work with him as a child.
Yeah, just working with him as well, yeah. Because I was just obviously keen on that, obviously.
With Milad, something very cute. All professor in the class say, I recommended you, don't work with old people, children, and animals. And I said, I'm so sorry because I have those three characters in my movie. But I was very comfortable with Milad too.
Yeah.
You know, children is hard too because they're so busy. They pay attention to so many things in around of themselves. But I was okay with him. I thought what I need, and I try to find out what he likes in the everyday's life.
So then it's just a friendly approach,
Yeah, and bring up some connection.
Yeah.
Between those.
Because if you're director and then just actor, then it's cold. But if it's, oh, you like this, and then all of a sudden it breaks that wall down and you're like able to merge in together, which makes it easier.
And the another thing is important for me. I hate that if I tell people I need this, I need that to actors. I hate that. No, I do not agree with it. Just I try to explain for them what is the reason.
Right.
Why. When I say why, when they understand why, okay, the reaction does depend on them. Probably they come up with something very nicer than everything I have already in my mind.
Yeah, just it's an
and that's why I leave them alone with their reasons, and then they can decide that how they come up with. That's why I think I'm more comfortable, and I think they are more comfortable to work.
And that's probably why, because you're so confident in yourself and can tell you're confident and everything, that working with Beirut, you weren't fazed by that. You weren't worried. You're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to direct him and talk to him how I would, and this is a role I want. And that's why you weren't worried about it, I'd assume, because your approach is different to others, where it's do this, do that. All of a sudden, it creates a divide between.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything comes
and
in.
I remember in this movie, one night, Behruz told me, you know what, I couldn't sleep last night. And I said, why? He said, I thought I can do these shots much better.
Oh, really?
And that's why I don't know if you let me to do again or not. And I said, of course I let you. Because before I be director, I was actors.
Yeah.
And as actors, of course, I understand what you want. We're gonna go for one more time, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to be comfortable. And if you like it, we use this one. If not, we go with the last one.
Yeah.
And we repeat it.
Oh,
when I repeated, and I thought he got very comfortable, and say, that's it, I need this one. Because actor or actress should be comfortable with director.
Yeah, of course, they've got to be. They can't, if they've seen before the edit and they're not happy with a take, they'd really struggle to then see it on screen going, there's a bit I wasn't happy with. So giving him the opportunity,
Exactly.
which is obviously a great thing
Exactly.
to do.
Because before directing, I love acting.
Yeah.
Before directing.
I was going to say to you, I mean, and I was speaking with someone earlier, the growth of women in film in front of the camera. Obviously, women have always been writing and offering ideas, but in front of the camera, and they've been in terms of acting, but now directing and producing, you're kind of on a level field now, aren't you, like in the industry? How do you feel about that? Is it the development of women in film?
Because I was producer too, is not easy. I'm not gonna do that
No?
again as a directing and producing is not easy.
No.
That was very hard for me because I couldn't concentrate on everything.
There
about
was things that you had to sacrifice.
Exactly. And I couldn't think about the catering, acting, the time. Of course, I have a very good AD and I had a very good DP, but I still was involved with so many things. But for women in this industry, you mean? How is it?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No.
Doesn't matter where you live.
I was going to say, potentially it'd be even harder for yourself and your culture for you to like step forward and come out. Is that right? Fair to say? Like, how's that received in terms of to be a filmmaker and a female filmmaker where you're from? Is that?
In my country,
Yeah.
In my country right now, we have so many. I don't know. I want to repeat your question if I understood. You want to
please do.
see
Yeah.
if for female in my country, if it's easy for them, if in my country, if they work in cinema
Yeah.
as a female, correct?
Yes, correct.
That was your question.
Yeah.
Right now, we have so many female directors in Iran. They can work. And they work, actually. But right now, for me, I don't know, because sort of I grew up in USA, not actually in half of my life. Actually, I
Right,
was
okay.
in USA.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I have two mix of Iranian culture and
culture
American
and
culture.
American culture, yeah.
That's why if I go to Iran, I love to work in Iran. Of course,
Yeah.
they offer me if I can work in Iran, but I'm not sure if I like everything is in my mind, I can do it.
Right.
Because I believe the woman front of camera as a wife should not have a scarf. Should not have it.
Right.
But of course in Iran they use it because they have to.
I have to, yeah.
And I respect it. And I understand that.
You
And
respect
if
it and
I-
understand it, yet you don't agree with it.
Yeah. If I want to act in Iran also, if I have to have a scarf, I have to. I
Yeah.
have my scarf.
Yeah.
But for more effect on people, more effective, I don't know if I go that way. I'm not that director to use with the woman or woman in. I like to be more open in my movies,
Right.
and I'm not sure if I can do it in Iran or not.
No, there might be some restriction, and
Yeah,
therefore,
of course.
yeah. Well,
In
actually,
every country does
yeah.
have some
but I think
limitation.
there'd be more so.
But I believe so many beautiful films right now they make in Iran, of course, and they can show even sexual things very, very nicer than the other country. If I want to bring the example, I'm not that person to show for sure the sexual things in my movie. I don't like it.
Yes,
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. If there's not a need in it for the narrative, some
I
films
don't.
add
We
it,
don't
yeah.
need it.
No.
I like something, everything that should be underneath.
Yeah.
But I don't have any problem with this part of film. But the other part, I like to be more open to talk about everything, and that's why I'm not sure. And I didn't try it.
No.
If I go and make some movie in Iran, and if I see it's okay,
Then who knows?
I'm gonna
might
let
go and
you
do
know
more. Yeah.
I was okay.
Yeah. Go and do more.
But yeah, but in general, it's not easy for female. Of course, is harder
No.
than men. In everywhere,
That's the thing,
even in USA.
yeah, but it's also in all industries as well, I guess. But I think with Farewell My Bird, you have brought to our Milan Festival and now Madrid a great short film, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time to
Thank you so
chat
much.
with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.